Hiya, it's Paul from Pod here. Now what we're focusing on is how to grow food, herbs, fruits and flowers in very small garden areas or gardens where you don't have any soil whatsoever. So this is our little roof terrace. As you can see, it's not very big, and we've got a selection of pots here. These are things that we have been growing. We've got some herbs and some flowering plants. This roof terrace is south facing, so there's plenty of sunshine all day, but it does get a bit of wind. So I've put the flowering plants on the windy side because they're not my priority. The priority is over here. You can see where my shadow is. That's where all the sun is. This is where we're going to grow our fruit, our vegetables and our herbs. So the best growing conditions go for what we're prioritising. This wall here, this is going to be really warm and sunny all day, so it's a great place for growing things like tomatoes and maybe some climbing beans. Now there is no soil in this garden. We've got a timber deck here, so everything has to grow in containers. We've got a bunch of different things here. We've got some plastic pots, we've got pots from the nursery, and beside me here we've got an old fish box that we found down on the beach. Now you can grow in anything really. You can grow in old buckets. I've even seen people growing in baths, old sinks and toilets, but you might want to think about whether you use someone else's toilet or not. Anyway, the most important thing is drainage. So if you haven't got holes in the bottom of your container, you drill some holes. So I've drilled holes in the bottom of this, and because we're on a timber deck here, you see I've put a little leg under the base here that raises the pot off the timber. If the pot sits on the timber itself, then you get water pooling and that will rot your decking off. So that's just what you do if you're gardening on a balcony or a roof terrace where there's decking. The most important thing, once you've sorted out your containers, is what are you going to grow your food in? Now most people will go for something like this. This is a multi-purpose compost. You see this on pallets when you walk into your local DIY store, and you come and have a quick look at it. It's very light and fluffy, okay, and it's great for seedlings, easy for seeds and seedlings to get into and to grow through. But it doesn't have a lot of sustenance in it. So if you're thinking about young plants, it's fine, but if you're thinking about feeding teenagers, you know they need a lot of sustenance. So I'm filling this about 2/3 with the multi-purpose compost, and then I'm adding something with a bit more sustenance to it. This is rotted farm manure, so you can see it's much darker, it's denser, it's got a lot more organic material in it, and it's going to hold moisture and it's going to feed plants as they grow. So roughly, and it is all rough with gardening, you don't have to worry too much about it being super accurate. It's better just to get on with it than to get too concerned about doing it perfectly, although we're going to try and guide you to do that. So you're mixing these two composts together. You want to bring the level up to just about a couple of inches below the top of your container. So in this case, we're nearly there. Put a bit more of this in. Okay, so we filled this container up to just a few inches below the top level. Reason for that is, if we're planting seedlings, they come with a root ball, so you put them in, your soil level's going to go up. You always want to have your soil a bit lower than the lip of your pot or your planter, so that when you water, the water stays in here and then it pools and it draws itself down into the soil and the planting medium. So this now is ready for planting, and we can get on to the next exciting stage of growing edible food on a small terrace in a small garden where you don't even have any soil.